Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Smog here, and today is going to be a very long live stream because the goal is to finish the other pieces of tech website. And before I get into it, I'm just going to talk a little bit before I start writing code. Right? At the beginning of this year, even though the year has not really gone that far, one of the things I said I was going to do was that I'm going to stream every Sunday. Right. While I kind of had a plan, I knew the kind of project I was going to build every Sunday, and I thought like, oh, there would always be time to sufficiently prepare for each of the sessions, right? The truth is, when you do the same thing over and over again, it gets boring, you lose motivation and shit, and you just want to do something else, right? And to be honest, before I came live on today's session, that was the way I was feeling. I was feeling like, could I not be doing something else with my life? Could I not be upskilling or something? Why am I still building this website live on YouTube and all of that, right? But then I'm still going to do it because I was the one who said I was going to commit to this, right? So anybody watching this stream, if you're trying to do something, if you're trying to commit to something, always know that it's going to be difficult. It's going to get boring down the line. I just know that your capacity for greatness. You have the capacity for greatness that you cannot be found slacking. Now I know I sound like a motivational speaker, but I just decided to like pour my heart out there, just like the way I feel this evening. So when you see me come on this stream every Sunday, and I'm also jiggy and all of those things, it's not like I have like 100% motivation to do this every Sunday. I've made a commitment to myself, and I have to live up to that promise. So yeah. Let's get cracking. Let's write some code. Let's have some fun. Forget about all the motivational braha that I just did. We are still going to have some fun. If you have questions, drop them in the comment section. Today is more like the final day. This is like the showdown that will finish building other pieces of tech website. So if you have any questions, if you know anybody that is just trying to get into tech, that is trying to figure out a lot of things, you can just ask them to join this session. They can ask questions. People who have joined these sessions in the past can probably testify. Remy is here. I had a session with Remy on ADP list yesterday. He said was going to join this session to ask some more questions. So if you know anybody that needs like some questions, clarity around their path in tech, you can just ask them to join this session. It happens every Sunday. They can ask questions, and I'm going to try my best to respond to them. The questions that I don't have answers to, I'll give them resources to be able to answer them. So yeah, so let's get into it. So majority of what I'm going to be doing today, and my monitor just went off. Interesting. Okay, so let me just disconnect. Let me disconnect and reconnect. This is not going to happen. We are going to have this stream. We are definitely going to have this stream. Yep. And the monitor is back on. Okay, yeah. So what I'm going to do today is I'll basically just go through the design, right, and compare it to what we currently have on the website and look for things that we can optimize, look for responsiveness, loopholes, and all of that, right? And just try to fix them and make sure that the website is ready for publishing. By the way, if you don't know what other pieces of tech is, other pieces of tech is basically us trying to tell the stories of other people in tech who do not write code. Think about product managers, think about product designers, virtual assistants, SEO writers, and so on and so forth. Right? We're trying to tell the stories, and we're also trying to provide roadmaps for these alternative careers in tech that do not involve writing code. So if you know anybody who has been able to, from the trenches, okay, let me use the word trenches, who have been able to get out of the trenches using tech and not writing any code that you think we should be talking to, please do drop their names in the comment section, and we'll do well to reach out to them, and you'll be able to read their story on other pieces that's tech. So let's get cracking. So I think part of the things I was missing for anybody who joined last week is these guys were not scrolling, they are scrolling now. The reason I'm not going to be talking about how I implemented this is because, to be honest, I just copied an old code and just implemented, and things were working, right? I probably will do another tutorial in the future on how to implement this. So yeah, so we have the design here. So I'm just going to take things like one after the other. So this is the MVP design. Right. So we have Remy on the call. Remy, what's up? Good evening. How are you doing today? We have Phonics class. Good evening. How are you doing? Trust you are doing great and amazing this evening. So yeah, I'm just going to look at the design from the landing page, and I'm just going to look at what could be better, what did we miss, and all of that, right? So we have everyone in tech writes code. This is the implemented design, and this is the design. We are doing away with these gradients, and that's because we already have like a gradient in the background. It might be an overkill if we're adding gradient to these items again. We just want them to kind of be like in the background, right? So that works for now. We have the preview of the most recent story. We are not implementing this additional stuff. We are not implementing it. So sorry. Yeah. Then we have learn more, which kind of now is rich story. I feel like this button is too big though, right? I feel like that button is too big. So I'm just going to quickly come over here into the code. I'm going to search for featured stories. If you have any questions, please drop them and please drop them. So button size, I'm just going to do medium. Hopefully there's a medium size button. Oh shit. So let's look at what's happening here. So let's look at the various possible button styles. We have small, we have medium, then we have okay, large. I'm just trying to look at what's happening here. So we have a height here. Okay, so that's the problem. There should be a height set on this guy. That's why it wasn't working. So let me see. Okay, medium still seems not to be working though. Oh, okay, I understand what's happening. Okay, I think I'll just stick with large for this. Right? And probably now adjust what the large size button looks like. So minimum width 320. I'll probably just make this 200 pixels instead. Okay, cool. I think I'm comfortable with that. Cool stuff. So read story. If you click on read story, then it takes you to this page. Yeah. So if you come, that's the single articles page. So if I come to the single articles page, this is what we have over here, right? So you have all these details. You have the person who posted and this guy. So we need to show. We have an image over here, right? That we need to show. So let me try and get that image in. So I'll go to article. I'll go to article. Article. Okay. So I need to go to templates. Should be stories actually, not article. Then stories.jsx. Then I need to look for the image. So it says we have metadata. We have a component called metadata, right? So to access that component, I can just press command and click on it. Command. Then we have the read time a minute. Then we have the author, right? Then I'm trying to access the author's image over here, right? If you're on the call, please just drop an hello, drop an I. Let's have some fun together, you know. Okay, so assets / image still showing up. Okay, so what I need to do now is how many steps out do we need to go? It will be 1, 2, right? 2, then assets, images, avatar.png. So that should be 2 steps, right? And for some reason, that image seems not to be working. So let me see, is there an issue with this image? But the image looks fine, right? Stories, templates, or could it be 1 step? Like I said, like this session is going to be boring, like because I'm just trying to look for bugs and fix bugs and all of those things. So, and I've been looking for bugs can actually be very, very boring. So yeah, so let me check how I've worked with static image in the past. Maybe I'm missing something here also. Static image source. Okay, yeah, that looks fine. Oh shit, seems I can see what the error. Oh shit. So the error was I misspelled. This is how interesting debugging can be, right? So I misspelled images. I used image instead of images. I used image instead of images. So that's why that wasn't working all along. So let's see. Let me refresh. Boom, and it works. How amazing is that? Alrighty. So I'm going to come over here now. Then get the distance between these. That's 19 pixels. So what that means is I can come over here now and say class name, right? Margin right is 19 pixels. Save it up, and we have this. How cool is that? So I'm going to look for other bugs that we can fix on this particular screen, right? So if I inspect this guy, let's see. What's the size of this image? This image is 42 pixels by 42 pixels. So I can come over here. Where is the author, right? I can come over here and say that the width is 42 pixels as well, just to be sure. Oh, Kunle Aremu, what's up? How you doing? We have the same surname. How interesting. What's probability of that coincidence? What town are you from? I think I would like to get to know you better. Kunle Aremu. My name is Aremu too. Aremu Small. Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much for joining this session. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, programming, tech, please feel free to ask. So 42 pixels, nice. Then the next thing, so let's check what this size looks like on mobile. On mobile, the size is 24 pixels. So I'm just going to make this MD, right? Then I'm going to do width 28 pixels. I'm going to do MD, and I'm going to make the height 28 pixels. So let's check what this guy looks like now on mobile, and you can see that the size is perfect. Then let's check the distance between this guy and this guy, 10. So it means that the margin right now will now be left to medium screens, right? Then I'm going to do you see, no, it's not like that though. It's not by being a remove. Nah, we got that day now. We got that day for real, you know. It's just when you see somebody with your surname, there is a way you just be like, so we are not alone in this world bearing that name. Yeah. Righty. So okay, so on mobile, this guy spans from left to right, and there is a space between it. So where I'm going to look for the metadata component. Then the flex is going to be this, right? Then so the gap is 10. Yeah. Then on medium screen, justify, right, is going to be justify start. Then on mobile screens, then it's going to be justify between, right? So that should put it on the good, amazing. So on mobile, the date is on the left, the reading time is on the right, while on PC they are beside each other. Cool stuff. So we are neatening things up. We are making sure that the design or the execution looks exactly the way it was designed. Yeah. So okay, so let me look for other things that I can fix on this particular page, right? This share icons seem to be, I'm from Udumosho. Wow, interesting. I'm actually from Osun State. I'm from Iwo in Osun State. Iwo is not far from, I actually currently stay in Ibadan. Iwo is not far from Ibadan, so I think it's kind of close. That's interesting. Thank you so much for joining this session. What do you do? Front-end engineer, back-end engineer, product designer? What aspect of tech are you in? Or are you making your money? Are you still a student? Share. So yeah. So the next thing I want to do is I want to find like a distance between these two guys, right? So I'm going to come over here, right? And there's a share icons component that I have, right? Then I'm going to say that let me see, button, no, not here. A side. I'm checking for something. I want to get the icons actually, right? So share icons, yeah. Then the max width. So I want the max width on PC medium screens and above to be 200 pixels, right? While on smaller screens it should be 160 pixels. So let's refresh. I'm not sure that I had any impact per se. All right, I'm actually cool with this. This is not bad actually. So you can copy this link, you bring it in here and paste. Nah, I definitely don't want to do that over there. Paste, it shows, it works. Cool stuff. Alrighty. So the next thing that I'm beginning to have an issue with is this particular this particular text. I feel like it's too long, right? And it is not consistent. So for example, this has this is longer than this, so it doesn't make these guys look even visually, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first and foremost look for a way to truncate this text, right? And I'm going to Google this actually. So truncate. I actually have a rough idea of how this works. Truncate text CSS. You have to set an height and all of that, right? And you do text overflow. Within then this guy, then text overflow ellipsis. So I'm just going to copy all of this, or I could just say how to truncate text TailwindCSS. So it says truncate. Okay. So Remy, so how I've been running my gadgets, right? To be honest, right, the electricity problem is actually pretty much pretty much the same, I think, everywhere in Nigeria, right? I've had like my fair share of electricity problems, right? However, I do have backup. I have some batteries that I use to save power, right? So that helps me to charge my devices. And I'm also very, very prudent with the way I use electricity. So for example, I've not put on my bulb until I started doing this shoot. And most of my gadgets, I don't even charge my gadgets unnecessarily, except I need to charge them. And a lot of times, especially like during the week when the power is terrible, I actually go to a workspace. So that's how I actually that's how I actually bridge that gap. So Conley says that I'm a social media manager, phonics instructor, BTU app owner, and intern student on social media at Intensify Africa. I'm learning HTML gradually, but it's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy, but it's actually possible. Yeah. Let me check out Intensify Africa. That sounds really interesting. Intensify Africa. Oh, interesting. So let's check out. So is this like a platform where people who are looking for internship opportunities can sign up? Like if one is looking for internship opportunities, can they come to this website to sign up and be able to get internship opportunities? I think that's something I'm interested in. So because I actually have a lot of people reach out to me a lot, say they're looking for internship opportunities and stuff, right? But I think my response to most people is that the tech community right now is basically looking for people who are ready, people who already know the skills. No company, or most companies, are not ready to invest in are not ready to invest in people, right? They want people who already know the stuff. Come do it, they pay you, like basically just move on with life. So I guess this is probably like something that I will share with people who might be interested in like getting internships. Thank you so much for sharing this. Yeah, like very, very interesting bunch of things you do there. Phonics has to do with the way one speaks, right? that looks interesting though. That looks very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So yeah, so we are back to featured story. So I'll just do article preview. Yep, article preview. Then let me see if text truncates is going to work. Text. Okay, yeah. text truncate. Let's see if that single command is going to work. If it does, I'll be so happy. Oh, interesting. It did actually. It did. Oh, wow. So it's virtual, but after a few months you go for physical. Wow, and they are really trying. Oh, that sounds super interesting. That sounds super interesting. That's amazing. It's really good to see that there are companies or communities still committed to like helping the next generation grow, right? Because I think that's like a huge problem right now in the tech community. Thank you so much for sharing. Text ellipsis. So let's add text ellipsis. That add ellipsis at the end. Right. Okay. It seems not to be adding ellipsis though. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So I think I'm actually kind of cool with this for now. Or probably I'll probably just remove this excerpt for now. Our letters are formed to produce sounds instead of traditional ways of. Oh, nice. If you don't mind me asking, for someone like, how do you make someone see the importance of phonics, right? Because I feel like many a times when people even think about speaking words, probably when they want to japa, and they now have to do all these IELTS or English tests and all those things. That's when people begin to care about like the way they speak. So like, is there a way you can sell like phonics to me? Like, for example, the way I'm speaking, like I'm not saying I speak well, but I'm saying like, how do you sell something like phonics to someone who needs it but probably doesn't know they need it, right? I'll be interested in seeing that. If you don't mind. That's if you don't mind, of course. Ifeoluwa Alao, thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing? Ifeoluwa Alao is actually like creative director at Other Places of Tech. He led the branding and the design of this website and everything that we do at Other Places of Tech. He also runs a design agency known as Biggie Brand. So if you know anybody that is trying to do branding, like look at this website. Isn't this website sexy? Isn't this website amazing? Of course, like superstar developer wrote the code there, but the designers did an amazing job. So if you know anybody that is looking to like do some branding jobs and stuff, please if you're up, check out Biggie Brand. It seems like today's session is actually going to be a very long, cute session, right? So you can check out Biggie Brand on Google, search them, check the website, give them a call, and yeah, this is not a paid advertisement, but they did an amazing job. Yep. So we are back to the individual stories. So read story, right? So I want to go to a story that actually has something, right? So one thing that I want to do is, this guy seems to be touching the edge. When we initially started working on this, we probably like didn't anticipate or expect that this would happen. So I'll probably add some padding to the right of this, right? So I'm going to come in here. Yeah, I love you too, bro. Yeah. From transparent to black, then I'm just going to do PR 4. Okay, yeah, so let's just leave the PR at 4, right? Okay, yeah, amazing. So this brings it on 2 lines, and I think that this looks much more usable or looks much more interesting to look at than what we had before. I think something that I would also like to improve on is the way these things are. So right now, if you observe, there's a gradient on top of this, and also there's a red outline, but once we get to this gradient, we can barely see the red outline, right? So I don't know how I'm going to fix this yet, but I'm going to try my best. I'm going to try really hard to see if I can fix that. So one of my guesses is the fact that probably something should be in an overflow and it's not overflowing properly. That's probably why things are not showing. Hello, Michael. What's up? How are you doing? Hello, Michael is also a team member at Other Places of Tech. Badass upcoming 3D artist. You guys should watch out for him. What's the Twitter handle again? Just drop your Twitter handle and your Instagram handle so that people can check your works. Right. Cool stuff. So what I want to do now is I want to make this guy an overflow. So I'm looking for where I added the outline of red. So let me check where I added. Oh shit. So this is where I added the red border. That's the wrong place. I think that's the wrong place to add it. I think the right place to add it should be this guy, and I should bring this guy here. So I added the border to the image. Shouldn't be to the image. Should be to the. Oh, amazing. Oh, you can see that the red outline comes out now. That's how you debug CSS. So I think this is why people hate CSS, right? Because you have to be really careful and you have to like pay attention to details, right? And now we have a rounded outline. Now this looks and feels more like it, innit? Okay, so the next thing I want to do, if you check the design very well, is you discover that this section is practically black. This section is practically black. So what I want to do is to ensure that we have more dark section here, or probably like bring this entire section a little bit down into that dark or black area, right? So what I'm going to do is this. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I'll figure it out. So I have a div here that contains the gradient, right? So I'm going to do var black, right? I'm going to do var black, right? Just to make sure that it's still black. All right, cool stuff. Now we are getting there, but not there yet. We are almost there. So the padding bottom is 39 pixels, right? So what I'm going to do is I think I will increase the padding top to, let's say, 100 pixels. Let's see what that gives us. Alrighty. I think this is what I want. Yep. This is what I want. So you can see that all of the text now is within this black section, right? And kind of fades into the image. You get what I'm talking about now? Yeah. So I think I can even take this further and do like maybe 150 pixels. I think that wouldn't be that. Oh yeah, no. Now it's getting too dark. But I think I will stay at 120 pixels. Boom. I think this works. So you have the text. It feels like the image, the image feels like it is coming out of nowhere, right? Out of the black background and doing this. So yeah. So cool stuff. So yeah. So we have this, right? And it looks good. I think this looks way better than what we had before. You can see the images seems to be coming out. They seem to be coming out of that grid background. So Kunle, there was a question I had asked, right? Which I think you must have missed. Look at this. How fantastic is this? So Kunle, there was a question I was asking the other time, which is, how do you sell phonics? Someone that you think needs phonics. Let's say, for example, me. I'm not sure I speak the best English in terms of pronunciation and everything, right? But like, how would you sell phonics to someone like who might probably need it but doesn't even know that I need it, right? So I think I was asking that question. Now I'm liking this. Interesting. So there's something I would like to do, right? The next thing I would like to do is when you hover on this, I want this arrow to move to the front a little, right? Just to ensure that just to ensure that we have some form of interaction on that front, right? So we have the end link story, right? Then we have, well, this is the article preview here, read story. Then we should have the arrow. Nope. Sorry. I'm trying to look. Okay, yeah. This is the arrow, right? Of course. Right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add I'm going to add a group. I'm going to add a group, right? Then I'm going to say that when you over on the group, so group over, right? For now, I'm just going to do a margin left of 4, which is a bit, which is a higher value from what we had before, just to be sure that works. So, see, you can see what happens now. It moves to the left. But I have an issue in the fact that it feels jagged, like it feels like it's jumping from that original margin to the next margin value. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add a transition. I'm just going to say transition, right? And I'm going to add transform, right? Then I'm going to say translate X. I'm just going to translate this by 2, just to ensure that it moves to the left, right? So let's see what this gives us now. You see now, this is now a smoother transition. So it nudges you to read the story in it. How amazing is that? I'm going to reduce this value to a 2, save it up, and boom. Then read story, it takes you here. How fantastic is that? So we're getting there. I feel I'm really proud of the progress that we've made so far together, because if you guys are not here to motivate me, then it's going to get super boring. So yeah. Alrighty. Same thing here. Now, the next thing I want to do is, so the same way we can clearly see the outline here, I want us to be able to clearly see the outline for this guy as well. So I'm going to go to featured stories, look for where I'd apply the border. I think that was a mistake I made all through. How silly of me to make such a mistake, right? Then I am going to add this guy, save it up. Oh no. Oh no. I applied it to the wrong thing, to the wrong section. It should be this div. It should be to this div or this section. Nope. It should be to, where do you have the image? Okay, yeah. So it should be to this guy. This guy. That's where I'll be adding it. Save it up. Oh, boom. Yeah, fantastic. I love that. So there seems to be some padding here, so I do not need this padding to the left. Oh, stop. And that fixes it. That fixes it. I think if I still wanted that padding though, one thing I probably could do is probably just make the width, like say width, let's say 90%, for example. Yeah, I think that would probably do it, but I don't even think I needed that padding. So I'm just going to remove the padding to the left, save it up, and we are good to go on that front. So now this looks good. Let me check back. Let me take a look back at the design, right? Let me take a look at the design just to be ensured that we are on track. All right, so we are on track, kinda, right? Okay. Oh, let me ask. Okay, I think I've asked the question again, but I think I can go over it one more time, right? And the question is, if you are to sell phonics to someone, let's say someone like me, who you think, maybe like in your conversation with them, you think probably like needs phonics, right? How would you sell it to them? Like, how would you let them know that, oh, this is what phonics is about, and these are like the advantages of knowing about phonics, or probably like, I don't know, if saying improving someone's phonics is actually like a right word or a right thing to say, right? So yeah, so that was the question I was asking. Actually, so there was something I had avoided in this design, which is the use of these gradients, right? So right now we have a red outline. Okay, so there's a mistake, not a mistake per se, but this image actually needs to have, this image still needs to have a rounded border, just to be sure that, if you may not see it, but I can see it. You can see that this guy is actually overlapping over here, right? So the fix for that is just to simply do rounded, right? And boom, it looks perfect. It looks perfect, right? Then what do you call it? Oh, nice. we are currently working on that teaching materials on phonics that's currently on my system. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. You know, the interesting thing about life is you don't know how deep some things are until let's say, for example, you interact with people who are deeply in that thing. Because I'm sure I might have had the word phonics in passing in the past, but it never really like stopped me in my tracks until right now I'm literally like having a conversation with someone around it. So yeah, it's really amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. Yep. So let me go back to the article preview. This guy should probably be rounded as well. Writing. Okay. So there are two things that I can actually possibly do. So this guy is either I go ahead and actually add a gradient, or probably I just make this outline blue, right? I'm going to try the first route, right? And for the first route, what I need to do is this. I just simply need to say that I just simply need to say that featured stories, right? We have this section here. It has a div. Then this guy is absolute here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another div. Sorry, too many divs, right? Yeah, I guess that's what they were created for. Div, right? Then I'm basically going to move all of. So yeah, I'm just going to say class name, right? I'm going to say PG. So there are a bunch of classes that we have in our TailwindCSS or that we can use for gradients. So I'm just going to say radial. Okay, so I'm just going to say gradients blue to red. Gradients blue to red, right? I'm going to say gradients blue to red. Gradients blue to red. And I'm just going to do P of. I'm just going to add a padding of 1 pixels. So let's see. Oh shit. Okay, yeah. We'll come to fixing that, right? Let me remove this red border. So I'm going to make this padding 10 pixels. I'm going to remove this red border, right? And you can see that we now have a outline, so to speak, or so to say, of a gradient outline. So I'm going to come over here now and just move everything in here, right? I'm going to move everything in here. I'm going to move everything in here. This guy remains relative because I want it to be relative to that, right? Then I'm going to make this guy 1, right? There seems to be some weird outline, right? Then I think this guy should probably be relative. The relative should probably be of this guy, right? Oh, so if I make it relative, it means that it's now outside of it. Now this guy should be the relative, right? And I need to be sure that my image has no border, so I'm going to do border 0. Right, okay. There's a weird white border somewhere, right? There's a weird white border somewhere. I need to confirm where that border is coming from. Oh yeah, so I need to remove this border now. We no longer need a border on this. Oh yeah. And you can see that we now have a gradient background going from blue to red. I can increase the size of this actually, right? If I make this guy 2 pixels, now it's a bit much more visible. The other thing I can do here is actually say overflow is hidden, right? And that would have even solved the problem with rounded. Yeah. So and that's it. Oh, can you see how sweet this is? How we went from just a very plain red background. Now we have a blue to red outline. I'm going to do the same thing for each of the other story previews as well. I think this guy is a little bit too thick though. So let's see what we have in the design. And then the design is 1 pixel. So let us just do 1 pixels. So let us just do 1 pixels. Save it up. Come back here. 1 pixels. Not looking back actually. border 0. I think we no longer need this border. Right. Full stop. This guy, let's make this guy rounded as well, just to be sure, or just to be safe. Right. Alrighty. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Then I'm just going to repeat the same thing for this guy as well. Article preview. Right. Then overflow hidden, this guy, that guy, and all of that. What I'm just going to do is add another div in here. Another div in here. Right. Move most stuff. So remove the border red. Okay, all of that is gone. What else did I remove? Border red. Okay. Right, overflow hidden. Then I'm going to do. So now I'm going to say class name equals. I'm just going to come over here and copy this guy. The only thing I need from here is, is this. That's the only thing I need from here. Then the padding is 1 pixels. Alrighty. So it's showing already, right? Then rounded, just to be sure that it's rounded on both edges, right? So now the text, this guy seems to be gone. The question is why? Why is that guy gone? So okay, and I guess the reason it's gone is because this guy should have been here. Alrighty, and we're back. How amazing is that? And I think there is a very interesting thing that happens. Oh, nice. Please reach out to me on Twitter. I would appreciate that. Okay, so I think one very interesting thing is when the background color, this black background comes on, there is a very interesting way that the design just looks much more interesting, right? Okay, so we have this now, which I think is almost perfect. Cool. So we have gradients outline everywhere now. So we can scroll down here. So now the next thing I want to do is, you'll observe that when I click on start your journey, it just jumps to that section instead of actually scrolling to that section. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to search for this. Smooth scroll CSS. I think there's a CSS, what do you call it? Command for that. I just need to do so scroll behavior, smooth. That's behavior. So is Remy still on this call? I said on this call, in this session. If you have any questions, now might actually be like a really good time to ask those questions. So scroll behavior. So I'm just going to do HTML, right? Scroll behavior, smooth. Save it up. Start your journey. And you see it scrolls to that section. How cool is that? I think that's nice. You see that we are making the website like a bit much more interactive and not boring like what it was before. Yeah. So, right. So let's keep going. Root story. Nice. I like what we have so far. Let's click on this. Let's just be sure. Join our newsletter. Okay. So the part of we're supposed to source this data from MailChimp, right? I didn't quite anticipate that we're going to do that on this call, but let's go ahead and do it. Because the goal of this session is to ensure that we finish this website. So I'm going to go to MailChimp docs, right? I'm just going to look for the API that I can use to get list of members. So let me see. Members list. I want to see. So list of members info. So it says get information about members in a specific MailChimp list. Okay. So we have the list ID. These are the data that you're expected to pass, right? You have the fields, you have the counts. Yeah. Which exactly is what I need. So I have this question. So let's assume you are done and you have gotten the project. You want to add stories to the project. Do you have to do that through VS Code and commit? The answer is no. And last week's session, what we did was, let me just go to last week's session. Last week's session, what we did was to set up an headless content management system. Oh, shit. What we did was to set up an headless content management system with WordPress. So if you look through this session, that's if you have some time. I think the first 30 minutes is actually going to dive deep into what we did, right? So we have WordPress set up as the endless content management system that feeds data into this Gatsby code. So I don't need to go to VS Code. If there's a new story, all we need to do is just go into WordPress, add the data, and it's going to show up inside. It's going to show up on the website. I hope that answers your question. So yeah, so as I was saying, so this is the MailChimp config, right? And it allows us to, once we have the list ID, right? Once we have the list ID, then we can run this query to get the list ID, and it's going to return, I'm coming, the number of records to return. Okay, maximum value is 1,000. Okay, this may not exact. So I need to see what the response looks like. So the response is, this is too much information. I just need to get the total number of items, right? The total number of items matching the query regardless of pagination. Okay. Let me see if there is another way to it. So let's see, get list info. Alrighty. So list info. Fields, a comma separated, query parameters. I think all of this is optional. List info, offset, dates before created, response. So this is what is sample response. So total items. I think this is the endpoint that we are looking for, right? To get information about all lists in the account. That's not what we want. We want information about a specific list or a specific tag. Right, so let's see member tags. So get the tags on a list member. No, this is not what I'm looking for. List member tags. So let me see. Number of subscribers. Okay, let's see count. Let's search for count. Nope. Get information. Okay. Nope. Not what I'm looking for. Just list info. I think I will start with this list info. Then I will try to look for a way to optimize things down the line. So it says that to do this, we need to run this guy and okay. So of course we are just going to create a serverless function for this, right? So I'm going to come over here to newsletter, right? To newsletter, and I'm going to copy this, right? I'm going to say number of subscribers .js, and I'm just going to paste this code and modify it to our needs, right? So for this is going to be a get request, so we might not necessarily actually need this. There will be no requests, so there will be no requests per se. None of this is needed as well. We need to set the MailChimp info though. Then we'll try the response, right? Then it will now be .list.get all lists, right? .list.get all lists. I don't need to pass anything in here. I do not need to pass anything in here, right? I do not need to pass anything in here. Subscriber hash, I do not need that. I do not need MD5. Right. This else statement is now redundant. Right. Then I can just come in here and just do a console. I can just do a console.log of response. Right. And let's see. So the way to test if this works is I'm just going to come over here and come over to localhost 8000 multiplied by API / number of subscribers, and that should either return a number or, at worst case scenario, return an error. Okay, so it's going to log the response. So let's see if it logs the response. Alrighty, it did log the response, and it says that the total items is 1. That's definitely not what we want. What we want is the total number of subscribers. So we're not there yet. So subscribers. Okay, so this is not definitely what we want. That's not definitely not what we want. So we need to probably like get members. So let's get members. So it says this dot get information about members in specific, add member to a list, get member info. Nope. So let's see if part of the things that this guy returns is the total items. If this guy returns total items, then that's probably what we're looking for. Members sort field. Okay, then the response for total items. This might be what we're looking for. This is actually what we're looking for. So I'm just going to backtrack this API a bit, right? Because right now we need the members ID, get all lists. All right, cool stuff. So this guy list members. The API is list members, get list members, then we don't need the subscriber hash, right? Then I can remove these else statements. Right? I don't need the subscriber hash. Let me save this up and let's see what that gives us. Right. So if I come over here and I run this guy again, if it's successful, it should tell me subscription successful. Then if I check the logs, then I should have something. What's the problem here? Executed this guy, but not. Oh, I didn't log the response. Console.log response. So let's run this guy again. Okay, cool. So let's see. Total items 267. That works for me. So what that means now is I can say message is. So let me see. That's total items, right? Let's refresh this again. Then the only thing I'm expecting right now is the total items. Right? Save it up, refresh. And if I check the logs, total items. So that's amazing. So what I need to do now is say message person does just message successful, right? Successful. Then I need to return data. Yeah, then I can do what do you call it? I can do data, right? And what I'm returning the data is just the total items, and I'm just going to destructure the total items from the response. Finish. Remove this guy, save it up, and I can now make a call to this API. So I only need to look for my newsletter component, right? Which already appears to be doing a lot, and it just needs to do one more thing. We need to get that data we need to fetch the data for the total number of subscribers. So I'm going to come over here, right, and create a state and say number of subscribers, right, equals set number of subscribers, right, equals use states. And I'm going to set the default value of 100 because at least I know that there are more than 100 people in this wait list. So and considering the fact that this is going to say something plus, so I'm just going to say number of subscribers. So let's see what that gives us. If I come back to the page now, you can see now say be part of 100 plus subscribers, part of 100 plus subscribers who get notified when we publish new stories and roadmaps. So that means I can come in here now and run the use effect. I'm just going to run a use effect, right? And in this use effect, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fetch API / number of subscribers, right? If it works, want to on the response to a JSON, right? If what do you call it? If I want to transform the data, then we'll get the data now, right? Then we can now get data from data, right? And we can now destructure total. Let's go back to the API, right? Where's the API? Number of subscribers. We can now get total items from number of subscribers in it. We can now get total items from number of subscribers. Okay, Remy, I think I responded to your question already. Do let me know if you found this satisfactory enough, or you like me to if you would like me to explain further. So total items, then I'm going to set number of subscribers to total items, right? I'm not going to monitor a success, a loading, or whatsoever state for this, right? Because even if it fails, we still have a number to display to the users, and that's totally fine by me, to be honest, right? So what's happening here? It says syntax error. Then this effect. Then. So what exactly is the syntax error? Data has already been declared. Oh, okay. So I'm just going to come over here and say response, right? Save it up. Okay. So in case there's no data, we want to make this guy, of course, an empty object. Alrighty, and that solves the problem for us. So one other thing we want to do is that if there is no total, so if there is total items, if there is a value for total items, that's the only time that we want to set this guy, of course, right? So so let me go back to the API. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to console.log the response in here, right? I'm going to do a console log of the response. Console. So it says native code. Why is it native code? Let me log the data. Undefined. Alrighty. So let's go back. Let me look at what the sample API over here looks like. Data reset. Okay. So we have. Oh shit! This is a method, not a. Okay, yeah. So we have total items now. Perfect. So that was a method. It says, "Oh, all this looks like magic to me." I've heard coding now. Well, never say never. You've gotten started with HTML already. Just see where that leads before you jump into a conclusion. It may say it's not for you, and you start it, and you just probably enjoy doing it eventually. So yeah. So never say never. Never say never. So Yep. Alrighty. So now you see that you can see that this guy now automatically gets updated. I have a little problem though, and I'm going to tell you what my problem is. If I go to About Us page, right? Okay, my problem was solved or something, right? So I thought it probably would make another API request, but I think it's going to catch. It's probably still going to hold on to this value before it does that. So okay, yeah. So cool stuff. So that's another thing that we've gotten out of the way. So these numbers now are dynamic. We get them from MailChimp, the total number of people who are actually currently subscribed. How amazing is that? Alrighty. So the next thing that we're going to do, so let me see. That's for that. Then we have this section, a clear roadmap for you. A clear roadmap for you. Knowing what to learn at various levels of your career can be confusing, which is why. So what I want to do here is just to get a summary of what product management is, UX writing is, data analysis is, and all those things. Then just add like this coming soon tag to all of them, right? So I'm going to go to the index pages, right? Then I'm going to go to roadmaps, right? Then I think there should be a data here. So coming soon will be true for everything here. True. Right. True. True. And good. So everything is now coming soon, right? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a brief description of product management. Very brief description. Product management is an organizational function that guides every step of. I'm just going to copy this. Then look for product management, Alt Z, right? And say it's too long for me. I'm just going to say this is an organizational function. Okay, so let's see what that looks like in the real world. Alrighty. Okay. So long. Product life cycle. This is enough. Too much of everything is bad. Then product design. Let's search for product design. Product design. I'm just going to copy this guy and put it in here. Process of. Okay, that's good. UX. I'm going to do UX writing. I'm loving these short definitions, man. Data analytics. Whoa, 2 people are still on this call. Thank you so much. Data analytics. You see, I'm just copying and pasting, copying and pasting. How amazing is that? If you have any questions, please ask them. If you have any questions, please ask them. Data analytics. Data analytics. The data analytics. Content management. I think I will change this to community management. Community management. What is community management? Community management. Definition. Find this definition. Shouldn't that be obvious? I think we may actually want to rethink this our coming soon. Because right now that it's blurred out, people can even barely read the definitions, right? Digital marketing. So what's digital marketing? There should definitely be a definition for that online. Digital marketing. Okay. So yeah. So like I said, I guess I think I'm going to change all of these guys to false. Even though they are not ready yet, people should be able to read about them, right? This is false, false, and this is false. Is there anything else that needs to be false? All right. So at least, even if the roadmaps are not yet ready, you should be able to say that product design, the process of imagining, creating, and iterating products that solves user problems or address specific needs in a given market. This is an organization function that guides every step of a product life cycle. UX, the process of writing carefully considered information that addresses people's context, needs, and behaviors. Data analytics, that should be analytics. Analyst is the person, analytics is a profession. Community management, the process of building an authentic community and among the businesses, customers, employees, and partners. The promotion of brands to connect with potential customers using the internet and other forms of communication. So there's an inconsistent behavior here in that some of these have a full stop, but some others don't. We need to pay attention to details here for us. Okay, cool stuff. A clear roadmap for you. Right. So the next section, or the next thing we need to work on, is this section. So how do we need to kind of think of how we want to handle this, right? I think if they are stacked on top of each other as they are right now, it's actually not bad. The only thing, of course, is we have to undo some spacing issue, or otherwise we could make this a slider. I think for the sake of this session, I will actually go for them stacking on top of each other and just like adding some space. Please, do you copy the MailChimp API from your MailChimp account? So yeah, so the API key. I think I actually covered this in last week's session. Let me see if I can move to the specific place where I covered it. Let me see how to get your API. Oh no, it's the API, the MailChimp API integration is not from last week. It's from, let me see, it's from one of the, okay, yeah, good. So we had an entire session on how we did integration on MailChimp and React. I think you should check out this session. I think you should check out this session. So I think I don't think, but I remember going through the entire process of how to get your API keys and everything that you need in order to be able to set this up appropriately. Yeah. So yeah, check out that section. Not section, session. So partners. Right. Then I'm just going to do MX, this guy. Let me see what it looks like as we. Okay. So I'm going to do MD, MY0, and MY2. MY2. Fine. Alrighty. I'm actually fine with this. I'm actually very. Oh, MY12. It should be MY2 or MY4. Right. This is actually not bad. This is not bad, right? The other alternative we could do, or the other alternative is, let's try that. Is we could say that Otzid, right? We come in here and just say overflow scroll here, right? And just come here and say flex, add a flex onto this, save it up, and justify center. Cool. So if we do this now, you see now that we have this. So then you can scroll. This works as well. This works as well. The only thing that I think I would like to do further is probably, I think we'll just leave this over scroll flow. Let me remove this margin top and bottom. I think we'll just do this for now. I think this is what I've seen a lot of brands do actually these days. So what I want to do is remove the scroll bar. Remove scroll bar CSS. Remove scroll bar Tailwind. Remove scroll bar Tailwind. So overflow scroll. Overflow visible. Adding content that overflows. No, that's not what I need. Overflow. Yep. Okay, yeah. So what I need is actually overflow X auto. Overflow X. I'm going to make that auto. Right. Then come back here. Let's see what I gives me. But I still need the scroll bar to go away. This looks ugly. You will agree with me. So, yep. Scroll. So I need to look for a way to remove that. People are building an entire library for this. That does not even make sense to me. How to add scroll bar with TailwindCSS. White space, no wrap. Okay, scroll bar high. Okay, so I'm just going to, I guess I'm just supposed to copy. I'm just supposed to copy this guy, then take it to my tailwind.css, list of utility classes, right? Oh, I think I'll just have to put below these keyframes. Then I can take this class now, scroll bar hide, look for the partners, and say scroll bar hide, right? And let's come back here. Let's see. All right, and it's gone. How amazing is that? I think I like this. All right, cool stuff. Cool, very, very, very cool stuff. Very, very cool stuff. Nice. So, I think we are almost done. The donate page, let's see what that looks like compared to the design, or in comparison with the design. Okay, so with the design team, and we actually agreed that we're not using gradients on input boxes, just to ensure that we're not going wild and crazy with gradients everywhere. But of course, this guy needs to be full width. So what I'm going to do here, go to the donate page, donate. Right, the button, there should be a full, it's inline, it's loading. Okay, I guess I'll just, can I add a class name onto this guy? All right, so I'm just going to come over here, since we don't have a lot of use cases for it, right? Donate, right, class name, because it's full, with full, and yeah, and the width for that is full. I think that kind of solves our problem. So if you want to donate, if I want to make a donation, yeah, I'll just say aremo at domain.com, 5,000. Right, select if you want to pay with basket, or you want to pay with if you want to pay with fiat, or you want to pay with crypto. Donate. I'm just going to show up the donation platform for you. So right now I'm selecting pay stack as an option, I can use another option. Let's say, now I need to cancel that out. Let's say baskets, right? Donate, and boom, you get the gist. So the other thing is there's some distance between this guy and this guy. So we want to ensure that we are adding that as well. So I'm just going to add some empty margin top here. Let's say 8. That should suffice. Alrighty. The next thing we want to do, I think 8 is too much. I'll bring it back to a 6. I'll bring it back to a 6. Yes. Then the next thing we want to do is there should be more distance between this guy and this horizontal line here, right? So I'm just going to come over here, form container style, my 60 pixels, my 60 pixels. I'm just going to make this 2 into the margin bottom will be 120 pixels. So now I expect that there is more distance between. Nothing showing yet though. That didn't work. That definitely didn't work. Let me see. Where's the section? Form container, right? Yep. So I expect the margin bottom to be 120 pixels. You can't tell me there's 120 pixels. At this point, one would think this was a skit. So let me check this guy out. Ooh, it's actually 120 pixels. Interesting. All right. Then I think that works. Oh, Simisola, what's up? Good evening. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you will stay for like 5 minutes though. I hope you won't come. You won't just come in and just like leave immediately. Right. So yeah. I think that looks good. That looks good. Yep. Support our work. Let's see what it looks like on mobile. Basically, and essentially the same thing. Right. The only thing I think I have issues with is the thickness of this. No. So to make donations, let me see. Donate page. This is the donate page. But I think there's a donate header. Yeah. There's a donate header. Yeah. The margin top, I think this guy is a little bit too much. I think I'll do 24 pixels instead. Alrighty. That works. Right. Yeah. By the way, let me introduce Simi, guys. Simi is actually the product designer that worked on this, right? So you guys might actually want to check her out on LinkedIn if you are looking for design tips and shit. Simi is actually the person you should be talking to. Thank you so much for doing an amazing job on this website. We're almost wrapping up. We are almost done. What we're doing right now is just knitting things up, just to ensure that the amazing job that you've done actually shines through. Right. So, okay, so we have the donate button. I think I will take this guy to a 160 pixels. The 120 pixels, I think I'll take this guy to 160 pixels. I think I'll take this to 160 pixels. I think I should start doing IPing on the side. I think I enjoyed this session where I was just introducing people. Right, yeah. Cool stuff. Ask your friends to come through so I can introduce them. If you are just joining the session, please just drop a comment in the comment section. Let me talk to you. Introduce yourself, or if I know you, if you know I know you, you don't need to introduce yourself. So I will introduce you. But if you know I don't know you, let me introduce you. Writing. Cool stuff. Right. Okay. I think we're actually almost done. There is one page, however, that we're yet to work on, and the page is a privacy policy page, right? So that's the next page we are going to work on right now. The templates for the privacy policy page is not in the design per se. We're just going to use the template for the articles page. We're going to use, or we could probably use, we'll just use the articles page. We just use the articles page. Oh shit. So you see what I was saying, right? Every time we visit a new page, so let me go to, let's say, about us, for example, right? It executes that. He says there was the hype man. It executes that newsletter thing, query thing again. We probably do not want that, because very quickly we are going to hit rate limit or something. So we'll definitely look for a way to optimize that. I knew that was going to happen, but we are definitely going to look for a way to optimize that. I think one of the idea, okay, let me see if I can implement that straight away. One of the idea that is coming to my head right now is to check, right? So if number of subscribers is not equals to 100, then go ahead and run this query. I should use Flutterwave. Oh, well, we can integrate with Flutterwave, but I'm not sure I have a Flutterwave account readily at hand right now. So this is just like a hack, right? So if the number of subscribers is not equals to, oh wait, that hack is actually not going to work, because by the time you get to a new page, the component is going to render, right? So I probably should put the number of subscribers inside of context or something to ensure that, so you see now, it's still going to run the query, because the number of subscribers is going to be 100 every time. So I need to look for a global state management solution to ensure that once the application loads once, it just gets the number of subscribers for us, and that's what we sustain throughout the entire application. I think that's the whole essence of a global state management. So for now, I'm actually just going to say, just to prevent this guy from calling the API every time, and I'm just going to say if no subscribers. Okay, if no subscribers. So we have subscribers, so it's definitely not going to call that again. So it shouldn't call it again, I guess. Okay, yeah, so it's not making any request to the API again. Full stop. And this guy should say 100 plus subscribers. So that's totally fine by me. Right. Oh, my monitor just went off. Let's just give it a minute until it comes back on. And while it's coming back on, let me grab some water. My throat is getting dry. Just to ensure that okay, yeah, sorry. I had to grab water. Okay, so for Flutterwave integration, I think we can actually do a Flutterwave integration later down the line, right? But definitely not this night. Because I have to create a Flutterwave account and set up and all those things, right? But the code for this is actually on GitHub. I'll share the link to it. So just basically just getting some configs and just adding them up, and boom, yeah, good to go. So yeah. Okay, so the next thing that we need to work on, the next page that we need to work on is the privacy policy page. You can see that we have the content in here. The only thing left is just to put the content itself together. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come over to our folder here, source, pages, right, privacy policy. And you know the interesting thing is we can actually create this privacy policy page from WordPress. Should we do that? I'm tempted to do that, but I won't do that. You can actually, so just putting it out there, by the way, that's something you can actually do. So I'm just going to come over here. Let me just pick one of the existing pages. Let's say, okay, this works fine for me. I'm going to pick privacy policy. I'm going to say privacy policy page, right? Save it up. Go into our config, right? Then look for menu, right? Instead of stories, what we are going to have is privacy policy. because we don't really have a page for storage right now. So privacy policy. I'm going to say privacy policy. Let's see what that gives us. So we now have privacy policy, and of course we use the what do you call it? We use the same template, right? So it's going to take us to the home page as the privacy policy page. So I'm going to come to the privacy policy now, and I'm going to change this guy to privacy policy. We will no longer ignore the site name, right? Then for the header, let me see what the header looks like. So let me check the article. Oh, the story. I'm going to check the stories template, right? And I'm just going to see how we can play around with this, right? So first, let me just pick this header. I'm going to pick this header, go to the privacy policy page, privacy policy, privacy policy. Why did I add that? I don't need that. Just bring this guy in here for now, paste it in here. Of course, we don't have all these values. We don't need this guy. We don't need this Gatsby image. Then we are going to say this guy should be privacy policy in it. Home featured stories, blah blah blah. We don't need this guy. We would of course need the newsletter. Definitely going to need it. Okay, we don't need newsletter on privacy policy page. We have to be strictly business, you know. It's all about the legal and the legalities. So it says text is not a defined component. So we need to import text from our components. Right? Save it up. Fresh. And now the only thing we have is privacy policy. Fantastic. We of course want to wrap all of this in a container. There's one more person left. I'm actually super impressed that we had at least 2 consistent viewers, like for the most part of this stream. That means a whole lot. I'm not even capping. That means a whole lot, man. Privacy policy. Whoa. So that's the size of our container. Oh, and the other person seems to be back. So now, privacy policy content is actually one of the content that I hate working with the most. So I'm going to say that this is an article. I'm going to say this is an article, right? This guy here, article. Then I'm going to say content. And for now, so I'm just going to take this one after the other, right? And I'm not going to use our custom component. I'm just going to use like the default this thing. Then I'm going to say that the class name is article. Right, save it up. That's going to ensure that we had all the necessary styling that we need. Right. Then I'm just going. So this is just basic markup that you know, probably hate and love. Right. This is boring work, man. And this is what it takes. It should be an ordered list. Ordered list, right? Then li. This guy. Then come over here. Right. So this should be H2 actually. This should be an H2. Then every other form of heading should be an H3. Our privacy policy explains the following. Alrighty. So this list here, okay, yeah. So in TailwindCSS actually, the list actually doesn't have like any list style. So we are going to get to that. So I probably want to add some padding. So I'm just going to do PY 60 pixels for now. Nothing serious. Alrighty. Then for the header class name can be 60 pixels as well. Right. So then every other thing can deal with itself. Then for this guy, I'm going to say class name max width is 758 pixels. 758 pixels. 758 pixels. Max width is 758 pixels. But it's not moving, really. Why? Dock. Okay, good stuff. 758 pixels. I think this is good enough. Okay, so then up next we can then begin to copy the other content that is needed for this. So I'm just going to, I wish there's a way to forward things in real life. So I'm just going to do H2, no, H3 rather. H3. Right. Then this guy is going to be a paragraph. That's going to be a paragraph. We will only blah 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 blah. This page will probably not change much. That's just the truth. Most likely will not change much. So I should get you water too. Okay. And this is going to be a paragraph. Going to be a super busy week. I can feel it in my bones. I can feel it in my bones. That's going to be a super busy week, man. I'm not sure, but I think there should be a faster way to do this actually. This is like, I've actually done this like over and over and over again, right? And it's always the same. How many pages? So we're almost done, just 3 pages. So we will use information. Furthermore, what I need to, you can only submit communication preferences. Okay, your email address. Then you must only submit. You must, okay, good. /p, right. /p, party songs. Okay. I think the article, the content is in the article, in it. So let me see. That's line 83. So let's go to line 83. Okay. Alrighty. That's the problem. Alrighty. Solves it. Never see nothing. Okay. Almost done. Oh, okay, yeah. Copy. Righty. Okay. So this is boring work, man. I'm doing this. I've done this over and over and over again, and I still don't know a way to automate this. A possible way to automate this would probably to use like something like a content management system to hold the content, though, right? But for this, I think this copy and paste thing is actually like faster or much more optimized for me right now than actually using a content management system, because then I have to go into WordPress and write GraphQL queries to get the data, and boom. I'm not sure I have the strength to do that right now. Alrighty. So we have all of the data here, but it does not look properly formatted, right? So I'm just going to go to TailwindCSS and see what the correct name should be for the article. So TailwindCSS, then the privacy policy page, right? The class name is article. I think I might have made some mistake or something. Let me see. I observed something just now. Okay. Privacy policy page. Alrighty. So what's happening here? Why is this guy not working? I expect this guy to have article styling or something, but it seems not to be doing so. Oh, okay. It seems I understand what's happening now. Let me try this. Let's try this. Let me break this guy in and put article. Oh, it still seems to be the same thing. So how is it working for the main articles page, but not working for this? That's something I definitely need to look into. So if I look at the article, if I look at the articles page, right, it works here. It works here properly. Okay, so let me first, there's even something I need to fix over there too. TailwindCSS dot article dot article dot article p, right? Then margin bottom. I'm just going to do let me just do apply. Add apply margin bottom of 3. 3. Okay, I think that works. Or 4. Just to ensure that there is some spacing between each lines of the article, each paragraph rather. Then the privacy policy, I'm baffled actually. So let me inspect to be sure that I'm passing this to the correct class name. Article class equals article. Then the class here is article, but margin bottom, the article. Okay, looks like I need to do a add not important here. All right, looks like that's what I need to do after all, rather. Right, and right. Not important, I'll be the important, just to make sure that I override all of these values. Next, save it up, and let's see. What's happening? Why did it fail to compile? Okay, so I'm going to say, oh god, I'm thinking of a way to style all of these guys. I guess I'll just replace that guy with a section, to be honest. Privacy policy, because it's beginning to stress me at this point. Privacy policy, right? So I'm going to, sort of an article, I'm going to make this guy a section, right? A section, then hopefully that works. Still the same thing. Yeah, but the font size seems not to be working. I think what is not working now is the font size. Every other thing seems to be working, but the font size seems not to be working. Please give me a sec. Apparently I need to, not like I need to join a meeting. I need to allow some people into a meeting actually. I need to allow some people into the meeting, so just give me a sec to do that. Oh my goodness, what's happening? Okay, so let me just drag that over here. Let me just drag that over here so I can let them in. Okay. Back. I'm back. All right. So we need to look for a way to. Okay. So now I need to happen to these people. So okay, yeah. So I need to look for a way to. So this guy seems to be overriding the values, right? So I need to do text. No, not text. Articles. Article. No, TailwindCSS. TailwindCSS. So. Okay. All right. So I'll just do font size. That's 6 pixels. I'll just do font size 6 pixels. So okay. Okay, so for now, let's even see if it's going to work. Let's even see if it's going to work. What's all this? We don't do that shit here, please. So let's see if it's going to work. Font size, that's 6 pixels. Font size, that's 6 pixels. They're not important. Let's see. Wait, let me see. Okay. H2. Oh, okay, there's no H2. So let's do dot. Okay. So let's just take this guy out. Take this guy out. Ah, finally. Woo! Okay. Okay, so here's the thing. I know what I'm going to do now. Okay. Right. So save this guy up. Right, then I'm going to just do dot article h3. Then I'm going to do font size 28 pixels. So font size 28 pixels. Okay. Oh shit. That does not even. Apply height 1.2. Then so let's apply MB4. Okay. Right, so at least finally this guy shows up in it. So I'm going to come over to the privacy policy page. And I'm going to remove this article from here. Don't need this guy here. Right, and they're going to leave the article on this guy. Alrighty. Cool stuff. And that's it. We have the privacy policy page completed, right? Not the most sexy looking privacy policy page, of course, but then I think that this suffices. Let me do UI. Alrighty. So I'm going to do PT, then PB 120 pixels. Okay. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Donate privacy policy should definitely come after. Privacy policy should definitely come after the match. Alrighty. About us. Donate. Alrighty. Privacy policy. Perfect. And I think that's the end of this stream. I think that's the end of this stream. I think that's the end of this stream. I think that's the end of this stream, to be honest. Let's check the mobile. So I think the only thing we've not done right now, the only thing we've not done right now, is that API. And for that, I'm going to use context. Yeah, I'm going to use context. I think that's the only way we can avoid prop drilling and ensuring that we do this thing. So, and I'm just going to come over here. Index.js. Okay, now there is a special way to use context inside of GAT. So I need to actually research that. So what I'm going to do right now, so I'm just going to say working with context in GAT. The longer I did it. Using context API with GAT. Yeah? So we need to look for a way to inject it. Provider reference. Twitter. I'm not sure I want to use context. Let me see. We actually need to be able to do so. So I'm trying to see the way to set this up. Wrap root element. Okay. Gatsby browser. Okay. So I just need to come over here and create context. I'm going to do subscribers text.js. So I'm going to import create the context, use context from React. Then I can say subscribers context equals create context. I can come over and say subscribers context provider equals this line. Then for now, I'm just going to do subscribers context dot provider, right? Then respect children. Then children. Then I'm going to come over here. So I'm going to abstract all of that thing that I did inside the newsletter guy. So I'm going to come over here. Everything I've done here is what I'm going to do. Right? Oh shit! Oh, fuck! I think the reason why it kept making the API request is because I should have done this. I think the reason it was doing that was because of this. Just check. Let me confirm. So every time there's a render. Oh shit! That's such a rookie mistake, man. Let me see. So, oh, up to 68 subscribers now. That's interesting. So let me go back to the home page. Okay, yeah. So I was correct actually. So all right. Providers context. So yeah, yep. So then we have this guy. He's only ever going to do that once, right? Then I'm going to do export. So I'm just going to do export subscribers context provider, right? Export to default. Then I'm going to come over here and say value, right? Then it's going to be say total number of subscribers. All right, cool stuff. So then the next thing I want to do is use what do you call it? Use subscribers context. This context for subscribers context, right? Export. So context. So the next thing. So now the next thing is we need to hook it up to. So right now. So say use subscribers context, right? Then we can now say total total number of subscribers. Okay, number of subscribers. Number of subscribers. Number of subscribers. Okay. So of course, but it won't work now. It's going to break or something. Yeah, React must mean the scope of JavaScript. That's expected. Import React. Import React. Then use text. Use effect. Alrighty. Yes. So the next thing, I don't expect it to work with. So we need to, inside of Gatsby browser now. So I'm just going to copy this guy and go to Gatsby browser. Okay, so what I need to import now is the subscribers context provider. Subscribers context provider. Save it up. React must be used, Gatsby browser. Okay, so let's import React from React. Import React from React. Delete all these guys. Save it up. And it should work now. So let's refresh this guy. Has returned nothing from render. Okay. Subscribers context. Return. Boom. And so it's showing 100, right? It's showing 100. That's fine. Okay. So if it's showing 100, that means it's getting the data from context, isn't it? It's getting data from. So okay, so all right, so privacy policy. I don't know these guys. So let's subscribers. Total items, children. So this if it's getting 100 subscribers, so that's the develop. I don't want that to be developed initially because I was scared of. I can't even remember what I was scared of. Let's see how far we'll go. Wow, 2 people are actually here. Amazing. Like, you guys are the real MVPs, you know. You guys are the real MVPs, you know. The sourcing data. Okay, it's done already. So refresh this guy. So what's happening? It's getting 100 subscribers, but it seems not to be. So let's see. Subscribers context. So let's see. Oh, not subscriber. Oh, and it works. It works. So now let's see. If we go to another page, does it try to create does it hit this API endpoint again? Let's see. Let's go to another page. No API call. No API calls. All right. That's it, people. That's it, people. Everything is responsive. Responsive. Donate. Get match. Privacy policy. By the way, if you made it so far in this stream, I really appreciate you guys for joining this session. This is the end of Other Faces of Tech building. Next week, I most likely will be building a React Native application. I'm just learning React Native. Not like I'm just learning React Native. I've actually I contribute to React Native how to work, right? But we're building something with React Native next week, most likely, right? And yeah, that was the end of today's live stream. Go check out otherfaces.tech. You can join our wait list to be among the first set of people that we know by the time we launch, right? While waiting for the launch, you can get a merch. The merch just costs 7,500 Naira and to be delivered to your doorsteps. Thank you so much for joining this session. Really appreciate it. Love you guys, and don't forget to build like a boss. Cheers. Bye. Bye. Bye for now.